Right, so I'm here on behalf of 107.8 Academy FM with Paul Hembery from Pirelli. So Paul, you've just announced the partnership with the BRDC Formula 4 Championship. Excited?
Absolutely. I've always been a little bit embarrassed actually being a Brit and being in charge of Pirelli Motorsport for 16 years that our presence in the UK has never really extended beyond rallying, and I've been pushing for years to get us really into the circuit ambience and particularly single-seaters, and this really is the result of quite a few years' work actually. I know sometimes people think it just happens overnight, but it doesn't. It's the result of a lot of work over the years, and we believe it's actually going to become the primary F4 Championship, if not just UK, but possibly the world. You know, we get a lot of people coming into the championship from overseas, and I think you'll see a great championship evolving, and one where the drivers will become what we believe to be the future stars.
Well, hopefully so. That's the aim. What would you? So obviously, the Formula 4 Championship is designed to be the affordable championship. Obviously, £100,000 a year to run compared to some others, which are obviously a lot more expensive, and funding is quite an issue, especially for British drivers. They have a lot of trouble getting the funds for it. So, how did the whole deal with the Formula 4 Championship come together?
Well, obviously, I've seen Jolie and Jonathan around the world with the Formula 1 circuits. You know, Jolie been in GP2 and a great champion last year, but it really is through that, seeing the connection from Formula 1, really going down into the grassroots of motorsport, talking with Jonathan, and I expressed a desire for us to extend down into the junior ranks of motorsport development, because any sport is only as good as the talent coming through. You know, we all focus on the top level because that's clearly the pinnacle and where the numbers are. But we are going to need a new Alonso, a new Button, a new Hamilton, because they're not going to go on forever. And we do need to develop young talent. And you have a little bit of a responsibility to do that. It's quite easy if you wanted to just sit around looking at the top level of a sport, but that's not really being too responsible, because you do need to help the grassroots of any sport come through, and motorsport is a sport pretty much dominated by money, unfortunately. 100,000 is a great budget. It's still a lot of money. You imagine asking most people for 100,000, they're not going to find it. So it's still 100,000, but it's still the most competitive and cost-competitive championship that you can find for showing your talents. And hopefully, if you're able to shine in the F4 Championship, you can then maybe get picked up by somebody who can start investing some money to take through to the higher echelons.
Well, as is evident with this year's champion George Russell, of course, who got the Autosport Award, and now the test with McLaren as well. So. Well,
that's exactly it, you know, and it shows that if you have got a talent and you can demonstrate at an early enough age, you can picked up by the talent spotters, and they do of course go and look out through the championships around the world, and we do believe that we will be finding more future champions through the F4 Championship.
And as announced here also as well, the Pirelli are going to be in partnership with the F3 Cup as well for 2015. You guys really are expanding a lot, so tell us a bit more about that.
Well, yeah, it was like, why not do everything else whilst you're at it? I mean, I guess it's we are taking seriously our global motorsport, and we're now involved in 170 four-wheel championships. You can add in maybe close to 100 two-wheel motorcycle as well in 50 countries. You know, so there aren't many companies, if any companies, that are actually present in motorsport on such a global scale as Pirelli. And we wish to reinforce that, and that means that you start looking at all championships in each country. The UK is still the hotbed of motorsport globally. The US is very strong as well, but the UK is still a very passionate motorsport. I mean, you hear it obviously the Autosport show, and it's amazing how many people are here even on a trade day, and you can guess what it's like on a major public day. That the British public has this huge passion for motorsport, but it's a passion that extends to all levels, you know, and you don't really see that as much in other countries. British motorsport fan is quite a well-educated fan actually, because they're able to look at a vast number of different championships and be very passionate from grassroots through to the top, but not just with the aim of becoming champions. There's a participation element which is again very different to many countries, that if it's got wheels and an engine in Britain, they seem to be able to find a way of racing it. It's quite incredible, and it still amazes all my Italian colleagues. They love to come here and go, you guys are crazy. You're absolutely mad. You will genuinely race anything.
Quite right and all. We like to give it a good go. So Formula One then, of course, the Premier Series, as it were. What's the plan for 2015? Are you for tyre wise? Are you going to go down a conservative tyre route, or what are we aiming for?
Well, it's pretty similar to what we had last year. There's just a couple of minor changes, really. We've got a bit of a moving target with the cars. There's obviously we're at the second year of a very dramatic change in regulations. We anticipate a big jump in performance. We already saw at the end of last season, sometimes in some circuits we're closing in on some lap records. Now, bear in mind those lap records were done with very open regulations, be it tyres, engines. We had the V10 engines then, so it means that we're starting to find a lot of pace, and we anticipate a big jump, as I say. So we have to be very careful about making changes when, if it's a second up to 2 seconds a lap improvement, you're going to see already at the start of the year. That by the end of the year could become 3 seconds, and that's a huge difference. That's almost going GP2 to F1. So you have to try and be slightly conservative, I think, when you've got that vision coming up. More so as we don't want to make changes during the year. That's something we always try and avoid, and it's something that you try and keep a stability, because the teams will obviously work around the tyre they've got. So a little bit of a quieter year, probably not as conservative, because simply adding that performance improvement will change the way that the tyres are used compared to 2014, and I think you'll see again some very interesting and dramatic racing.
Brilliant, Paul. Thanks for taking the time to chat to us.
Thank you, and hope everybody enjoys this wonderful show.